So let's start with geopolitical shifts. Um, could you summarize what you think to be the great shift in geopolitics since the millennium, really, and but with gathering speed in the last 5, 10 years?
I think we can divide the world history into discernible phases of history. Uh, the the period, say, up to 1500, was dominated, of course, by the history of Eurasia and the centrality of China in that history. The period from 1500 to around 1750 can be seen in retrospect as the period of European imperial ascendancy, that from a modest start uh, in an age in 1500 when there were many significant empires across Eurasia. The regimes of the far west of Eurasia, of Europe, uh, became ascendant in global power and influence. And that period of ascendancy can be dated roughly for 250 years. After that was a period of European dominance over the world system from 1750 to around the year 2000, with the proviso that for the last 50 of those years, the United States was the dominant power. So it really became a North Atlantic dominance, not strictly speaking, a European dominance. That is what has ended around the year 2000. We entered, for a variety of reasons, a multipolar world uh, with the two uh, uh, critical uh, determinants. One was uh, the nuclear age, which is a great equalizer, because with the nuclear weapons, the entire idea of a global hegemon like the United States or Britain becomes impossible when other countries bear nuclear weapons that are credible deterrents or threats. The second is the rise of China, which is a return of one of the world's great civilizations to the center stage of global politics. And that really did not happen until the 21st century. But now it's plainly happened, and uh, China's not alone in this new role, because India's rise is also significant and will be more significant in coming years. And Africa will play a surprisingly large role 25 years on from today. But China's rise is the definitive, most visible, and most important single break with the North Atlantic dominance of the world. So we're in a moment that is transformative from many points of view. It's the end of the U.S. dominance that we see quite clearly in the U.S.-China conflicts, but it's more generally the end of the so-called Western dominance, which has a 500-year period, albeit one of dominance only half of that time, from around 1750. But this is a very big deal. We're certainly not at the in a clearly defined new age because this is a transitional period. I think Gramsci's quotation that the old world is dead, but the new one is not cannot be born is quoted daily around the world. The sense that we've reached the end of a long historic cycle, a longue durée, but we are not in a clearly defined new era right now is correct. Certainly, uh, in mentality, the Western world keeps a lot of its habits of the past. The United States still dreams of its unipolarity, its ability to boss the rest of the world around. Even Europe, which is in a much, much weaker state, still has the presumptions and the appurtenances of imperial power, even though the empires are gone for 3/4 of a century. And in this sense, we don't have yet a set of institutions and a mentality globally that defines the new order that's taking shape. But a new order is definitely on the way. The big question is not multipolarity. That is the real existence of many major powers. That's already a fact. That doesn't need to be born. We're already in a multipolar age, but we are not, as I put it, in a multilateral age where we have rules that govern the behavior and norms that govern the behavior of the major powers. And therefore, we are in conflict and in risk of major conflict in many places in the world that is a legacy both of the past system and this transition period.